And on matters health, the fight against HIV and AIDS has taken a new front as a section of agencies have moved to court seeking to block the President's directive to have all HIV-positive mothers and children registered. The advocacy group states that methods of implementing the directive breach the constitutional right of privacy of the people. Our health reporter Sharon Momanyi is following this story and now reports.
At 13 years, Rose, not her real name, is HIV positive. She lives with her family of 3 children and her mother in Western Kenya. Their father died of AIDS in 2009. Her mother, also HIV positive, is sickly, and Rose has to balance between school and taking care of her ailing mother. Rose's HIV status is only known to her counseling teacher, who ensures that she gets ARV drugs. The privacy is meant to protect her from stigmatization among her peers. But the teacher says that the call to secrecy has in some cases been at the expense of a child's health, with some families not taking their children for necessary medication and treatment for fear of victimization.
They don't want the society to know that they are HIV positive. So the moment we take their children to the hospital or refer their children to the health center for drugs, wanakuja, they want to start quarreling with the teachers.
This must have been President Kenyatta's reasoning when in February this year, he gave the Ministries of Health and Education a year to ensure that all HIV-positive children in the country get on antiretroviral therapy. He directed county commissioners to identify all of them.
It's just a question of care. Let us just identify who they are. Let us treat them as normal human beings, which they are, and let us give them the care that they require. And I'm certain that we would be able to reduce mother-to-child infection almost to zero.
The directive was for county commissioners to collect proper and accurate up-to-date data on all HIV-positive children, information on their guardians, women living with HIV, expectant mothers living with HIV, and breastfeeding mothers living with HIV. But the directive became a new battlefront in the fight against HIV. The Kenya Legal and Ethical Issue Network on HIV and AIDS, KELIN, the Children of God Institute, and 2 others have now moved to court seeking an order to suspend the implementation of the directive. They argue that the Ministries of Health, Education, and Interior have proceeded to implement the directive without consultation with persons living with HIV. They also state that the method of collecting the said data violates the law. Section 20 and Part 1 of the HIV and AIDS Prevention and Control Act of 2006 states that the minister for the time being responsible for matters relating to health may, in regulations, prescribe privacy guidelines, including the use of an identifying code relating to the recording, collecting, storing, and security of information, records, or forms used in respect of HIV tests and related medical assessments. Part 2 of the same regulation states that no person shall record, collect, transmit, or store records, information, or forms in respect of HIV tests or related medical assessments of another person, otherwise than in accordance with the privacy guidelines prescribed under this section. And that is the dispute that the court will be seeking to answer as this case gets underway. 42% of HIV-positive adolescents are said to not be on drugs. The situation presents an impasse with the need to put all HIV-positive children on drugs on one hand and the need to protect their privacy on the other. Justice Mombi Ngugi has certified the matter as urgent and directed it to be heard on the 17th of June 2015. The agents who have moved to court agree in principle with the directive to have the data of those in need of ARV drugs. What they are opposed to is the method of collecting this data, which they say puts on paper the names of these people, thus making them prone to the age-old barriers to the fight against HIV and AIDS, and that is discrimination and stigmatization. Sharon Momanyi, KTN, Nairobi.